Hello and welcome to Surveyor Says, the podcast from the National Society of Professional Surveyors. Each week, we bring you fascinating guests that are involved in the profession of surveying. My name is Tim Burch, and I'm the Executive Director for the National Society of Professional Surveyors and your host for the podcast. Subscribe to the podcast on most of your favorite streaming platforms, as well as our podcast host, Podbean. For more information about the podcast and NSPS, please visit our website, nsps.us.com. So, without further delay, here's our next episode of Surveyor Says, the NSPS Podcast. Hello and welcome to Surveyor Says, the podcast. I'm your host, Tim Burch. Today, I'm actually in the studio, and we've got a lot going on at NSPS, so we thought we'd just take a step back, do a quick episode of From the Director's Desk, and let you know some of the things that are going on in the world of surveying. There is, like I said, quite a bit going on, so let's jump right into it. Well, first and foremost, as this recording on October 13th, 2025, we are still in the middle of the U.S. government shutdown. So what does that mean for surveyors? Well, a couple of things. I mean, first off, because the government is shut down and a lot of the government employees are furloughed, that means that our beloved agency of NGS, National Geodetic Survey, they're not there. So if there is any support needed from the geospatial side through NGS, it is offline at this point in time. Along with being offline is Opus, Online Positional User System. And I know that's still being utilized by surveyors across the country, especially in places where there's very little to no cell service. That system is offline. So unfortunately, our surveyors are having to fall back to other solutions, whether it be software-based or the Canadians have an online system. Actually, the Australians have a pretty good online system as well. It allows us to pull CORS data that is still continuously operating, but they have access to that. We can put some things together. So, unfortunately, doesn't look like there is any solution in sight just yet. No pun intended there. So we'll wait and see how the two sides come together and see if we can get our friends at NGS back on the job, and hopefully we can get everything back going. Because also what this is affecting is the ongoing work that's going on with the National Spatial Reference System upgrade that we're anticipating to have next year. So we'll keep you posted on that. Another big thing that's happening right now is an ongoing debate. There was a Supreme Court case last week that was Childs versus Salazar. Kaylee Childs, a counselor in Colorado, versus Patty Salazar, the executive director of the Colorado Licensing Board. What this is, basically what this is going against is Childs, as a psychologist, as a therapist, is wanting to fight the ban on conversion therapy in Colorado. So the question is, okay, how does this affect surveyors? Well, we're watching this case very closely, because what the argument here is the restriction of free speech in regards and use of professional licensing. So what this is going to potentially affect is professional licensing nationwide. If it's determined that there is a freedom of speech component versus professional licensing, this could affect how not just surveyors, but engineers, doctors, lawyers, anybody that has a professional license, this could potentially allow someone to say the First Amendment free speech would be able to be used instead of a professional license. So we'll wait and see. NSPS went along with several of our like-minded association partners, ACEC, the California Nevada Engineering and Land Surveying Association, California Geotechnical Engineers Association, NSPE, and NCEES, our good friends at NCEES. Like I said, this could affect how professional licensing is looked in regards to the First Amendment free speech. We have two cases that are pending potential argument in front of the Supreme Court that were actually combined. For those who are aware of the Crown Hold case against mysiteplan.com out in California. GIS being used to basically put together sketch plans, and with a disclaimer saying it's not a survey, but yet it's using all kinds of survey terminology and the likeness of a survey. And also there's a case against a drone UAV operator in North Carolina that is what he is saying is, as the operator, he should not be restricted as free speech to being able to go out, perform aerial photography, convert that into topographic surveys, and provide that content and that data for basically as a consultant's use, that there is a freedom of speech that's allowed there as well. Those two cases have been combined. They're sitting in the potential docket for the Supreme Court later this year. More than likely, they won't be heard. However, the outcome of the Childs versus Salazar could be a big, big deal. So we'll wait and see where that comes out. On the technical front, I was fortunate enough to be able to go and travel to Frankfurt, Germany, and attend Intergeo, or Intergeo as they pronounce it, the soft G. This particular conference has been going on in some form since 1871, and it's been 30 years in its latest and huge version, and it has been traveling around various cities in Germany. It's amazing. It's several exhibit halls full of every possible name that you know of in surveying, and then a whole bunch of others that are not. Obviously, all the big players are there. You're starting to see still a lot more UAVs, a lot more remote sensing, a lot of LiDAR sensors, a lot of LiDAR modules, and then software. That's probably the big thing that I really want to stress in this conversation is the use of software, and really putting the AI component, the AI agent component into everything, and including the unveiling by Hexagon, the Leica TS20, the first remote station with AI built in, being able to do some things, being able to see some things and collect data and identify things using distinctive features. Go check it out online. It's really, really cool to see. It's just a taste of where the future of surveying is going, and I recommend you check it out. The interesting thing about Intergeo is how it does. We see the latest and greatest of the technologies. So, one of the things that I distinctly remember is when Leica introduced the GS18, the tilting GNSS, which was a game changer, along with a newer version with the camera in it. Then became the plumbless pole and the sensors that went in there. All kinds of different UAVs, the Wingtra, the fixed wing that yet lands vertically up and down. That one was released several years ago and has become an industry stalwart. Lots of great instruments and technology gets introduced there. I highly recommend going to Germany for the Intergeo conference. Next year, 2026, it will be the second week of September, and it falls right before Oktoberfest. Imagine that, Oktoberfest in September, but you get the gist. And it's going to be in Munich, the home of Oktoberfest. So I would highlight those dates and consider going, because it's going to be a really, really good conference. We're looking to do something with FIG, and probably going to be doing something with the Young Surveyors there in Munich. FIG is where the Young Surveyors Network started several years ago. And this is going to be a good opportunity to be able to celebrate the Young Surveyors Network on the global stage. Speaking of FIG, want to make sure that everybody's aware of the 2026 Congress that's coming up May 24th through 29th in Cape Town, South Africa. If you've never been to an FIG event, this will be a Congress. This is held every 4 years. It's actually an extra day longer. It's 4 days of a conference and exhibition. And we will be electing officers for during this session. It is really, really a great opportunity to meet and network with like-minded professionals from around the country. And there's still time. November 1st is the deadline to submit a non-peer-reviewed paper for consideration and it can be for a presentation in person, it can be for a poster session, or it can just be something that can be reviewed and evaluated for its content. So go to the website, fig.net, take a look there, see what you need to know about submitting that paper if you're interested. And while you're there, check out the information about the Congress, like I said, May 24th through the 29th, 2026, Cape Town, South Africa. Last but certainly not least, we just wanted to bring to your attention, we're working with our partners at NCSS. They have a task force that has been reviewing and putting together a non-boundary exam for a potential land surveying license. It's really for the mapping sciences. It would be something that would allow literally any other task done by surveyors other than the actual boundary determination. This would be something that would be available once this would pass and the exam would be developed. States could then decide if this is something they would want to offer. It would be on a case-by-case basis with each state. It's dependent on them whether their licensing board would want to take it on. The one thing I will mention is that the recommendation is to have this person that would pass this test still be called a professional surveyor. That's a little controversial in some circles. Think of it how you wish, but that's something that could be coming down the pipeline. So just wanted to pass that on, and if you might want to check out anything going on with your local chapter, your state association, or check out anything that's going on with NCSS. And if you've got something you'd like to say about it, there's lots of ways to make your opinion known on this topic and the future expansion of survey licensing. Well, with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. Appreciate everybody coming on, sticking with the podcast here. We've had a lot of great guests in the last few weeks. We've got our fall business meeting coming up this in a couple of days. We're going to be talking to a little bit of everybody, and we're going to be attending the 2025 NSPS YSN Young Surveyor Network Conference. That's going to be adjacent to our fall business meetings. This is going to be a North American conference with the FIG Young Surveyor Network. We're going to have young surveyors and students from several countries coming in, and we look forward to having a very robust agenda with some pretty high-profile speakers coming in, some pretty good educational opportunities, and it's young surveyors. They typically like to have a little more fun as well. So we look forward to seeing them, talking with them. We're going to capture some content and some interviews with them and see what else, other tricks they have up their sleeve. We are capturing it all on video, and we will have some online presentations and a review of what happened at the upcoming conference that you can check out in the coming weeks. In the meantime, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop us a line at info@nsps.us.com. We look forward to your questions. And just remember, any place you listen to this podcast, hit that subscribe button, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks. You've been listening to Surveyor Says, the NSPS Podcast, brought to you by the National Society of Professional Surveyors. If you have any questions about today's episode or any other topic, please email us at info@nsps.us.com, as we are here to help. Subscribe to the podcast on most of your favorite streaming platforms, as well as our podcast host, Podbean. For more information about the podcast and NSPS, please visit our website, nsps.us.com. And remember, it's a great day to be alive.